All the frogs seeing wide, get a clear view. People coming with the tides like we church and pew. Haters putting them aside, yeah, I often do. Some claiming to be friends.
What's going on, people? This is Inflewence, and I'm back with another video. Today is something different. I guess it's different. I don't know, but it's not a review or anything. But I just wanted to go through and show you some of the artwork that's on the wall, which are all comics, and the reasons they're on there, which I said before. If you want to see a video of me when I did all this, it's up there. So let's go. I'll just go through the comics that's on the wall. I got Night Thrasher #1. He was a new character that came out during the times when I was collecting, and I don't collect comics as much now. Every now and then I'll see something, but it's a black guy, and I was like, there's a new black hero, you know. So I think he's on the New Warriors, or he was on the New Warriors. So yeah, that's why this is up there, because it was pivotal. There weren't many black superheroes that I looked at, you know, that looked like me. So representation was there. So anytime one came out, I was geeked. This is X-Force #1, and that's Cable. It's when I believe that's when I first saw Cable, and I loved his character. So everything that was going on. This New Titans, it's number 62. It's no, some of these issues aren't pivotal, but I like the artwork of the issue and the character. Again, Cyclops. What am I talking about? Cyborg was one of the few Black Justice League slash Teen Titans or Titans characters. So I really liked Cyborg. Now over here is the X-Men #1. This is when they like rebooted the X-Men, and there was a number of covers. I think this was like the cover you could get everywhere. It was on the newsstands. It was all over the place. But if you know, they had a 4-page cover. I think it was 4 pages, and opened out, or maybe 3 pages. It was, each book had a different cover, and you put them all together. And then I have all of them. But they sold, I think this was like the #1 selling comic book ever. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you know. But yeah, I think this is like the #1 selling comic ever. So I don't think it'll ever be worth anything what I thought it was gonna be worth. But I got all 4 covers. Then I got this silver cover that folds out into all 4, like the big poster. So, but I just put that one because it's color, and I like this particular one. I always like X-Men. I mean, I always like Wolverine's my favorite X-Men, or one of my favorite X-Men, and I love Cyclops, and I always like Iceman's powers. So here is Spider-Man #1. This is when they rebooted and made Todd McFarlane but he drew this, and this is just one of many covers. I got so many different covers and variants of it. But it was iconic to me because it was like a start over. I always collected the Amazing Spider-Man, all the Spider-Mans, all the Web of Spider-Man. Like, I always collected all the books. He was one of my favorite comic book characters ever. So he was like one of the first ones I started collecting. Down here I had Moonlight #9, which this isn't a particular important book to, well, to me they're all important, but you know, some of these books are just, I like the cover. I love the character Moon Knight. I can't wait for the show to come out, or the movie, whatever they're doing. But Punisher was a good character that I liked. And Moon Knight, I always was in the Moon Knight. You know, Batman was my favorite DC character. Moon Knight was sort of like the Batman of Marvel. And that's how I got into it. That's how somebody sold it to me. So, but then I like his complexities. He has more complexities, you know. He may be crazy. But, so this is Avengers 315. It has Spider-Man guest starring in it. So, I just like this cover. This, I don't know, shows them all. They're all in peril. Like, I like the colorfulness of it, which is why it's up here. It's Guardians of the Galaxy, #1. Now, this ain't the Guardians of the Galaxy team that you know, but what's cool is that, you know, these are the older, this is the older team, except for Handu, which they changed his character a little in the movie. He didn't have the bow, he just had an arrow that he could control by whistling. But they actually were in the movie, which is kind of cool. But we have Deathlock down here. I like Deathlock. This is Deathlock #1. Always like Deathlock. And then he was in, if you haven't seen Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you should see it or watch it. I think it's a pretty good show. I'm trying to get through it, so I got so many shows. But so then we come over here to this side of the wall. It's X-Men 282, and this is the first time that Bishop is shown. Bishop was again, it was representation for me. There weren't many, and Bishop came on the scene, and I liked Bishop. He's still one of my favorite X-Men. So here we have Wildcats. Jim Lee is one of my favorite artists, along with Todd McFarlane. And shout out to Jim Lee. I watch him on Twitch all the time, drawing. But I think he works for DC now. Yeah, this is an Image comic. This is when they broke off with Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee and a couple other, like all the greats. A lot of the greats at the time, they just formed their own comic book club, basically, and they had free reign and they were doing their thing. And Wildcats is one of the teams that came out of that, and I like that team. Here we have Punisher World Journal. Always loved this cover. I always thought it was cool that Spider-Man worked with Punisher, because the Punisher is just like ruthless, and there were two characters that I always liked. I always collected any books of theirs. This cover, yeah, I mean, it isn't, I don't think it's significant, but I think it was a 2-part crossover with Spider-Man, and Spider-Man being a favorite character, one of my all-time favorites, and I just like this cover. I just thought the dynamic was cool too, because Spider-Man don't kill people and Punisher kills people. So that's always, you know, and that dynamic, like Spider-Man trying to stop him from killing people, but at the same time he recognizes that he tries to help. So here we have, is this the first DC title? It may be. No, I had New Titans. Yeah, so this is The Killing Joke, which was a very iconic book for me, and period, I believe it was iconic. This pose is always iconic, which is great story too. The movie, I haven't watched the movie yet. I do want to watch it, but you know, Spawn 3. Now this is one of my all-time favorite characters. Again, this is Todd McFarlane's character that he created when he broke off and started Image Comics. This is #3. There's no significance of this other than I like the cover. So the artwork is what's significant to me, and there's nothing more to say. Spawn is Spawn. Here you have Ghost Rider. like Ghost Rider, another character that I always liked. Nicolas Cage movies, not so much. They were entertaining, but nothing, you know, it didn't translate well. Hopefully, I haven't, like I said, I'm on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I know that he's on there, but I haven't gotten to that yet, so I can't say how he's portrayed. And it's a different Ghost Rider at that, so take it for what it is. But this cover was dope because it's glow in the dark, and I don't know if you can see. You can see it a little bit. Let me close the door on somewhat. So yeah, that's a glow in the dark cover. It glows a lot. I just turned the light on, so it's not glowing a lot. You know, with the glow in the dark paint, you gotta put it under the light. This is something that's significant to me. This was Batman Legends of the Dark Knight #1. It's the first solo book that came out since like 1940. So Batman was one of my favorite DC characters, and it spoke to me, so I put it up there. It's not too great of a cover. It's just plain artwork wise. Here's Deathstroke Terminator #1. Deathstroke, this is when I really met Deathstroke. He's been in other books and stuff, but I think at the time I didn't really know who he was, and I just started liking him. Like, he's ruthless. He's like the Punisher, but he has powers he's like super soldier. So yeah, and he's been in a lot of media. It's surprising. I mean, I know he's a fan favorite, but he's in a lot of media, and it was surprising that he was in so much media. And around the corner here, I just have Wolverine #44. And it's nothing spectacular. I just like this cover. I'm not done. I'm gonna figure out what other books I'm gonna put up, because I'm gonna put up some more. I want this whole hallway to be filled. And then over here, I mean, I've done the Transformers collection show off before, so these are all Legends. So they're smaller versions of the Masterpiece Transformers, and I just put some floating shelves. This was, I don't know what's going on. I have to check, because it looks like it dropped down a little bit. It was more in line. Then I had the big Cabana Superion. He's on there with screws and twist ties, but they're kind of hidden. But if that's keeping him up, he would fall off. If not, some more Legends. I think the Legends are good with the Cabanas because it gives them the scale that they need. But yeah, and up here, this is my first album that I released. It didn't age well. I was listening to it the other day, and I released it at a time that I did almost everything myself, and I don't think I was too equipped. This is my first solo album, and this has aged well. I still think it's a great album. I had a lot of help with production and stuff. So, and then this is my Pac poster. Now, what's special about this is it is a mosaic, and the mosaic is made up of pictures of fans, if you can see. And I think I don't know if it was a mosaic contest or something, but there's a pictures of fans everywhere. And I don't know where my picture is, but my picture is in there somewhere. And I wish I could find it. I don't remember. I tell you the truth, I don't know. I can't remember if it's near the eyes. I know it's red because it's actually my first solo album is the picture that's in here somewhere that made up, and it's actually pretty dope using the camera to figure it out. But yeah, I would have to look it up again. It's a shame because I haven't looked for it in so long. I can't remember where it is. That they did a mosaic like that and I'm part of it. And it's like so many people, I'm not sure how many people are a part of this picture. But if you don't know, Tupac saved my life. So his music did at that time. It was a hard time in my life, so music got me through. And of course, I had some other music people that I admire. And I admire these people for what they do. I know people are like, well, why you hold them so high? But it's you know, his business and music. Always loved his business, always loved his music. I think he's a beast in the music business. So business period now. And Biggie, his lyrics were always, his structure, his lyrics always held him high. Pac, of course, is my favorite rapper because of the connection I have. And MJ, I just grew up with him. My piano steps. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna bring this video to a close because I believe it's too long. And this is just, I had the VIP only. This is just the beginning of my man cave steps. And I just wanted to take you on a little tour. All right, peace.
Life ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.